Hello, Apex team. Here we have another instructional video. This one is on how to register your students in Banner. Banner can be found under your Academica screen, home screen. For me, it's under one of my frequent links because I use it a lot. But if you don't, you can find it under the resource tabs, under employee resources, administrative assistant systems, Banner, and then the Banner login. Sometimes when you click the Banner login, you will have to do a secondary verification, which through Duo, which sends a push or a text message or calls your cell phone for you to approve your login to Banner. So we're going to click login, and it takes us to the Banner home screen. To register students, one of the first screens that you will enter into is their hold screen. All of our students have mandatory advising holds, so you will have to lift their hold first before they can be registered. The mandatory hold screen can be found under SOAHOLD. And that's the hold information screen. So you'll select that. It will take you to a screen where you will enter the student's ID number. I typically use access ID numbers just because there are fewer digits. The less you have to enter, the fewer mistakes you probably would make. But you can also use Banner ID numbers if you like. Once you enter the student's access ID number or Banner number, you can select the Go button or hit select page down on your keyboard. Alt page down on your keyboard. This is LC Coffee screen. You notice that LC has a mandatory advising hold for Apex scholars, and it has the to and from date. Typically, this date would have been ending in December 31st, 2099, but LC's hold was already lifted for registration. If you needed to change it to lift it, you would hit the calendar, select today, actually hit today's date, and select save at the bottom of the screen or either F10 on your keyboard. To register LC, you will need to hit the search icon on the left side, type in the mnemonic SFAREGS, which is the student course registration screen, and select by clicking. You'll be taken to this next screen, which shows the distribution parameters, but that's not a screen that you need to enter any information on. So you would just click the X to close it. You won't see that screen again as long as while you're in your current Banner session, but every time you restart a new session, you'll see that screen. For the term, we're registering for summer, so that's 2020-06. Always check to make sure it's the correct student, and then you can hit Go or Alt plus page down. You'll see that the student is eligible under his status. To get down to the point where you can start entering the course reference numbers or CRN numbers, you would hit Alt plus page down. That opens up the first box under CRN. You would just enter those 5-digit numbers. Arrow over, and the course will populate. All the course information will populate. Sometimes it drops automatically for you to enter another one. Sometimes you would have to click yourself. After entering the 3 courses, arrow up to the last set of course that you entered, because if you have this open box underneath, Banner is thinking that you're still trying to register for additional classes. So when you try to save this registration, it won't go through. So make sure that you're on one of the active fields. Because these are APEX specific courses, any course that starts with the APX, you will need to click on the approval received. So you will check that we've received approval to register students in these courses. You have to do that because our courses are permission restricted. So if we don't click that, you'll receive an error message. After you look and make sure that you have the right courses in, you would hit save or F10 on your keyboard. We received an error message saying that approval was required for the English course. That's because it's probably because it's also Apex restricted. So you would also need to click approval received for that course and hit save again. You see how many credit hours at the bottom that the student is registered for, and you hit save again. And now LC Coffee is registered for the summer. But you need to put that student's hold back on. So you would go back to the recently opened folder that's off to the left side, click on it, find the hold information screen, click the SOA HOLD screen, select it. That student is already pre-populated. The to, like the end date, which is the to box, which is the end date of their hold, is already highlighted. So you can just start typing in 12/31/2099. To save this hold, you would hit the save button at the bottom right corner or F10. I usually click twice to make sure that the save has gone through. If you need to proceed to another student, you can hit the F5 key on your keyboard. That's F5, the function 5 key, and it will restart the hold screen information. LC Coffee's access ID is highlighted, but you can just type right over that for another student. And hit go. Or alt page down. That's F5. That's the student I was looking for. F5 takes you back to that screen where you can lift the hold of another student. Typically, if I know I'm working with a list of students, I will hit F5 after every hold lift and just lift all the students' holds at once and then start doing the registration so I can do all the registrations at once. Then I come back to the hold screen and add the holds back on all at once. So this is for Genesis Mayfield. You notice that she has a hold until December 31st, 2099. You would click on the end date, click the calendar, click today, click on today's actual date. It populates, and you would select either F10 on your keyboard or the save button in the bottom right corner. To register Genesis, you would go back over to the recently open screen or open folder that's on the left-hand side. Click on it, select student course registration. And now Genesis information is pre-populated on the course registration, student course registration screen. You can select Go by clicking on Go or hitting Alt page down on your keyboard. From this screen, you would select Alt plus page down. That opens up the first box for her registration. Now, as you notice, some Genesis is already registered for COM 1010. Most of the students who placed into English 1010 already based on their SAT scores were pre-registered for COM 1010 to secure their spots. But if you have a student on your list that is not registered, then it will be necessary for you to register that student. Only students who have placed into English 1020 who are not taking English 1010 in the summer are taking COM 1010 in the summer. So that registration is already in there. So you can arrow down to the next box. Enter. Remember, make sure you arrow up. COM 1010 is not an Apex specific course, so you do not have to select approval received. But for our math course and for our learning seminar, learning community seminar, you will need to select approval received. To make those changes and to save that registration, you will hit save. Select save twice. Then it goes back and it shows you that the student has been registered. You will go over to the left-hand side, select the folder icon, select the hold information page, SOAHOLD. And now we're going to go back and put Genesis hold back on. The end date is already pre-populated. So we can just type right in that box, 12/31/2099, and hit save. If you have another student whose hold you need to lift, F5, and you can type right in this box. And that's it. If you have any questions, you can definitely email me or call me, and hopefully I can help walk you through any difficulties you have. All right, thank you for listening to this and listening and viewing this video. And again, if you have any questions, definitely let me know.